go. Let's go. Let's go. All right.
Top block
So, look,
fourth.
man. Let's fucking go, dude. All right. Let me see. We got. Yeah, I'll throw a little something at it. Okay. So we got. I don't know, man. I kind of want to talk a little bit about some AI at the moment. And we'll keep track of what's going on with pizza so we can know. It's about 700 right now, so we'll see what happens with it. But uh, let's talk a little bit about AI. We got Suede AI up here. Let me know if I'm doing you guys justice. Basically, you type in a dude, barely any prompt. Like, I didn't have to type in any prompt at all, really. It's just, hey, give me a song about a Spaces host and on Twitter, and it does everything for you, like, which I thought was cool. Like, it literally does everything for you. So it creates an entire song for you. It creates you can tell it, like, yo, make a rap song or make a symphony. You can tell it what to do, or just let it do whatever it wants to do, and it's actually listenable, which I thought was in. Yo, I said it last time on the last space. We literally have people in. Oh, fuck, this is gonna sound so fucked up. Yo, we literally have people in crypto Twitter who think that they make good music, but it's not. It's actually terrible. Like, it's barely listenable. But yo, you, like, dude, they don't even realize all you have to do is um make me a song, do me some punchline rapping, make it about crypto, and the fucking AI will do it, all of it for you. Literally all of it. You can tell it, give it some lyrics. You could literally give it some lyrics. Man, I don't know. Do I have this right, Suede? I don't feel like I'm doing you guys justice.
No, spot on. I mean, you really can put anything in it. And what I love to do, just to show people kind of how like spontaneous it can be, I'll be in a chat and I'll make a song. I'll say, write a song about how it's 6:45 p.m. and I'm about to jump on a space, and I thought it was going to happen at this time, and we're buying pizza going. And it will write a song that will somehow make all those lyrics completely coherent and actually very good, and sound like a top 10 song studio grade. And that's kind of the reaction that from everybody that's tried it. And this is the reason why, like, I'm floating costs. Like, there's no cost to use it, no cost to process it, anything whatsoever. There's a token gate, which is negligible, just to ensure that we don't get spammed. But like, the feedback is always, I had no idea that this was a possibility. And the songs really, and I put in the jumbotron just a few recent songs. The songs are legitimately stuck in my head more frequently than like Zeppelin that I grew up on. Like, it is or some of the hip hop, it's trained on so many different genres. And one of the cool things too is you can get more granular if you want to say, like, leave out this genre, subtract this genre, or you want to say, I want a piece of this genre. And so, like, one of the songs that I posted in there was a hip hop song that had violins and piano, which was the request, and it sounds fucking phenomenal. And another song was pretty interesting too. The person had said something along the lines like dramatic piano, dramatic violin, and the AI didn't know if they had intended for it to be in the lyrics or for it to be in the song. So it did both. And the way that it made violins and pianos fit like the kind of gothic undertone of the song was like something you would expect from like an 18th century poem. So it's cool. I think really right now, one of the biggest use cases, and this is what we're going to be launching here in a couple days, is like you were playing music earlier. It's 2025 and we have speakers that are playing music to our iPhone mics. Like, that's it's too janky for what we have available to us. So we're going to have the agent, Johnny Swady, is going to enter the chat, and then you're going to say, Suede, cue up a hip hop song, and he's going to play a hip hop song, and it's going to be total streaming quality that you would expect, based off of any 24-bit. It's going to have very little latency. A lot of the latency that you have with the other agents are actually due to issues in integration. But we're really hitting on all cylinders, and the unique, and I hate to say utility, but it really is. And I hate to say AI agent, because that's really not what this is. A lot of the AI agents are the project. We have an AI agent simply to just act as a funnel. It takes music from the site and brings it right to X when it's trending, and it talks. But like, we're number two on Goat Index for mindshare. We had 16% of AI mindshare yesterday. And that's when most AI agents are getting totally washed out. And we're one of the few projects that has an app designation, as well as a platform, as well as an agent. But a lot of these agents, they just fork Eliza and they call that the project. But our agents are just simply ways to kind of increase exposure to our actual project. So saying AI is almost, it's gotten a stigma with AI agents, but I think that's the big reason why, when this big exodus happened recently, we really weathered it quite well and have come out on the other side pretty unscathed. And there are a lot of things that went on that are natural in a project that's 2.5 months old. And we just keep on ticking, and the enthusiasm from people who I've respected for a long time and are very savvy, is very, very encouraging. But yeah, you just go in there, put 2, 3 sentences, and you've got a studio grade song, and you can generate it as many times as you want. Content creators, you don't have to worry about copyright strikes. You don't have to worry about bland music. You can have something that's a little bit more personal too. If you want to kind of like throw your name in there or something, you can do that as well. And you also own the song entirely, all royalties that are received. And that's a big thing that we have, that we're going to be announcing soon, is a partnership. And I don't want to go into too many details. I can't, but I also don't want to until it's really solidified. But it's going to be for distribution. This is a natural fit. And so when you create it on the blockchain, you've got provenance, you've got proof of ownership, you've got the ability to tokenize. It really is a perfect marriage, and people have been talking about it for a long time. And I think, we've really done it. And the ethical perspective is, artists are no longer just going to get left out. They're going to have their models, and they're going to have some say in the direction of the music, and get acknowledged and make money off it. So that is kind of the basic overview. There's social media that's built in and all that, but that's really what I think people are so impressed by right now. And it's a lot different than any of the other models that are out there, which are very, very, they're not very impressive. So yeah, that's Suede AI in a nutshell. But this has been a great space already. There's a lot of really good advice. And times like these, when there is a lot of like I'd say uncertainty, it's a good time to really kind of like fall back and find the projects that you can have faith, you can have conviction in, that the dev is putting skin in the game. I think that's a big part too of our project, is like, it is not cheap to do what we're doing. It consumes like all my time, even when I'm with my daughter and stuff. Like I every few minutes am making sure that we are progressing forward, and that's skin in the game. If I were to launch a meme coin, which I love because I've made more money off meme coins when I was buying Doge, when it was a complete joke. It didn't even, wasn't on exchange anywhere. Um, so I think they're great asymmetric risk. People can really actually like have a chance of making substantial money that aren't in the cabal, the traditional cabal. Um, but for me, like when the market pulled back, I was able to say, like, look, guys, we've got something that we're building that's like really tangible, and we're not going anywhere. And that's like it sets a floor. Whereas with a meme, like it's kind of, you gotta trust that the team is doing stuff, and you really can't know because there's not a lot of things that they can put out, um, that it would be something like you were saying, like Clutch was saying, like I don't want to give out any supply or give out any token. I don't want anyone selling the chart down. So like, a lot of meme coins, you can set up partnerships for tokens, but you can't pay for servers, you can't pay for hosting, you can't pay for refining, LLMs or creating these things with token. And so that's a way that a team is putting skin in the game. And most of the supply is locked up. 53% of it has been burnt. So like the distribution levels are very fair, and it shows in our price action. Even after everything that's gone on in the past 2 months, we're up 200,000%. So I really do think utility is a dirty word, because very often utility is a LARP. But when you actually integrate a token well, and last thing I'll say is I always use Brave browser as an example of how crypto tokenomics can really help create something, because they were giving out BAT token when I started using it in, I don't know, 2017. And I'm like, I don't know, maybe this BAT token's worth something, maybe it's not, but Safari's not giving me Safari token, so fuck it, let's go with it. And so I got my BAT token, and with that token, they were able to onboard millions of users that wouldn't have probably given them a shot, and they were able to bring them on and bootstrap that community without spending hundreds of millions of dollars to do that. So the crypto tokenomic aspect really gives us the ability to do some pretty incredible things that really wouldn't be possible otherwise. But um, the utility does need to actually have utility, which is kind of rare, and we are very convicted on making sure to every part of the process integrate that token so that it does actually provide floors. One thing I did, I made a video about what are your earnings per share, what are your earnings per coin. If you've got a coin that has passive income coming in the form of guaranteed royalties, well, that coin has intrinsic value. And so these are the ways that I think we really kind of bring back um, some degree of standards to what we expect versus an AI agent that comes on and talks shit and has a token that, I don't know, is cute to own. um, this is how we really really integrate crypto in the stuff that I'm working on right now with this potential play in the future. um, it will absolutely revolutionize crypto, and I think bring a level of legitimacy to our space that is on par with what Trump is doing with the strategic and reserve and stuff, but on a utility level. So yeah, we're excited, man. It's times like these when a lot of the noise gets washed out, and a lot of the people that created stuff with very little conviction, they run for the hills, and we just buckle down and keep building. And then when the dust settles, we're standing, and the rest have moved on to something else, and it's a couple days old, and then we move on to something else. But um, yeah, we're really feeling good about the way things are going, especially in light of the macro case. So yeah, that's our basic overview.
Well, you mentioned earlier about goat index. Like, can you tell me a little bit about what that is and what it means to go up on that?
Sure. So it's they call it it's almost like a data availability for AI agents, and it analyzes the amount of sentiment in like just the amount of the conversation that is based around certain AI projects, even tokenless projects. So it looks at, it's pretty much always AI XBT in the number one spot. And we've been it varies based on 6 hour, 12 hour, 24 hour periods, whatever you choose to look at. And we've been in the top 20 since they added us about 2 weeks ago. And if you looked at it's a goatindex.ai. There's a few different designations they have for projects, and there's agent, which is an AI agent. There's platform, if it's a platform. There's applications, if they have an application. We're the only one that I know of in the top 20. It changes from time to time, but I'm pretty sure right now, even in the top 20, that has an application. And we've also got an agent, and we've got an entire social media platform that's being built and integrated and is live now. You can go on to the site without connecting a wallet, without having to have a profile, and you can go and listen to what people are making that they chose to make public in real time, and listen to the songs and see what the prompts they were that they used, and you can follow a certain artist. And so it's like kind of a breakup to the infinite scrolling of social media. So you get that ability to do the scrolling, and like actually, get into the zone, but also you can kind of like, move aside for a second, and scratch beneath the surface, and like actually get in touch with something that, I guess, is a little bit more demanding intellectually, or differently. I wouldn't say more, but I'd say it's differently. So yeah, we've got all that but to answer your question, it just gauges how much people are thinking and talking about your project, and it takes a lot of things into consideration. So just being on there is like a huge honor, let alone to be number two. Pretty much, I'd say about 50% of the time since we've been on there, we're top five. So that's really exciting. We just got on Cookie DAO. They just added us, and all that happens without any of our initiative. They just add you when you get that mind share. And we had 16% of all the conversation yesterday about Suede AI, which is just wild. But I think we are doing enough to really justify something that large.
That's very cool. How? So my question, like, I love the tech, but like, we're all degenerates here. My real question, like, seriously,
Sure.
we want
Yeah,
number
I
go
get
up,
it.
right? So
Yeah, yeah.
my question is like, how have you been able to stay on the radar? I mean, is it literally just coming to spaces and tweeting and talking to KOLs and stuff like that? How have you been able to keep your token? Because most tokens, even if they are
Mm.
AI, even if they do have some utility, they will rise and then they will fall, and that's the end. That's all you hear from them. Even if they're still working, you don't hear about it. So what is it that sets you guys apart, that you're able to keep a solid floor and get levels of support and go higher? What's going on there? Because you guys are
That
actually doing a really good
yeah.
job.
Thank you, and that's a great question, and it's a real, it's been a eye opener in this process, that I think a lot of people go into it thinking they're going to have an incredible project, and they'll be able to make money and pull money out, and the reality is, if you do that, you're going to sell down your chart. That's the only way you can really make money from launching a project like that. And so what we've done is, I've been fortunate enough to be in a position where, I can get by and fund this. And I was actually retired before I got into this for a few years. Um, and, I had a lot of success in a short period of time in traditional business, came from absolutely nothing, and not Ukraine, nothing, but pretty much. And so was very successful, was able to retire, to spend time with my daughter. And then I started to see, like, I love music, and we see what's going on with these artists just getting exploited. I love crypto. I came in on the ability for people to have agency and empower themselves to make the same sort of gains that a VC or a pre-sale investor does in traditional markets that we're boxed out of. And I saw that we were kind of losing a lot of that edge and a lot of the ethos that we stood for. So I came in with the understanding that in order for this token to actually like accrete value to holders, I was going to have to float everything. I couldn't take profits, which I'm fine with because the exit is years down the road and it's billions. It's, the right now it wouldn't make a difference to my lifestyle, and that's part of my edge is that I can do this because I was fortunate enough to have a great mentor and get into a good business and all of those things. So um, I think what happens a lot of times is people lose faith in the utility because the cost of running things like this are very high. And the only way projects can fund that if they're doing token sales is through selling the token. So people start to, I think, lose faith in the good progress. You see somebody that's doing incredible things, yet their token is still going down, then you kind of assume the worst. So we've done a number of things, like for instance, on the front end, use a credit or debit to subscribe or to pay for the purchase. That gets instantly converted into Suede, giving it basically buying support, setting a floor, and then redistributed to the staking holders of the Suede token, which are obviously going to be fine receiving Suede. They already have it. So mitigating any degree of sell pressure and ensuring that the token is required and is needed to be purchased, not just like you get a distribution of it or an airdrop. You actually have to go out on the open market and purchase it, which makes a big difference, obviously. That is really something I think overlooked by a lot of projects. And like I said earlier, I think it's the death knell. I know it has been for me and utility projects I've invested in. When I see they're doing great stuff, but the token keeps going down, it's just like, okay, well, regardless of what happens moving forward, I can't gauge a valuation based off of the team's performance. So this is just something I'm going to stay away from. So, being that I'm on both sides, as far as a meme investor for a long time, done a lot of degenning, round tripped more bags than I care to admit. um, I realize that the pumponomics and all of that is really important for the community and for the people that believe in what you're doing and ultimately make it possible and get the word out. So we've integrated the token in a lot of ways to ensure that it's not only used as a utility, but it needs to be purchased to be used as a utility, and then it's not like sold for a service. It's locked up and staked. It's removed from supply so that the supply shock and supply demand ratio continues to be favorable.
Wow, that's pretty
Nice.
good. I know, right? Wow.
Yeah.
I have a question. Do you guys
Sure.
support oh, first of all, I just want to say hello and send good vibes to you, your team. Everything
Thank you.
you're saying right
Appreciate
now
that.
sounds really, really good. And I wanted to send love to your daughter. The way you spoke
Oh,
about
thank you.
her just briefly like that, it shows that you care about not
Oh,
just what you're doing, but family as a whole. So that's really good.
I appreciate
Um,
that.
Oh, no problem. I wanted to know, like, do you guys support Afrobeat genre?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I didn't want to go too long-winded because Fiddy always gets on. I make things more complicated than they need to be, it seems like. But what we're doing is we're building a DAW into the system as well, so you can actually like master and mix the music. And what is really cool about it is we're making it in the cloud so that you don't need any like high-end computer. You could run it on a Raspberry Pi and it's not going to use your computing resources. The songs that are made now are all stored in the cloud at no cost to you. So we want like to a lot of the developing countries to have really good access and to because that's where some of the greatest music comes from. And so yeah, we definitely do already have Afro beats and stuff like that. But we want to get even more to the point where we're in like very uh, like obscure dialects and stuff like that, and give people that don't traditionally have access to like a Pro Tools or a Logic to mix, master, learn about music, which I think is really important. Kids have this instant dopamine these days, so if you can jump on, you write a prompt, you've got a cool song, you're excited, You take that song, you export it into the DAW, and then you can play around with the notes, play with everything, and next thing you know, you're learning about music and music theory, and you're doing it in a way that is actually sellable to kids because it's engaging. So yeah, it's really important that we support a lot of the non-Western music types because they're great, and also, I think they're the creativity of a lot of these people could be really catalyzed by having something like this, but the hardware isn't always there, so they don't need that anymore.
Wow, that's pretty cool. I was thinking when you were speaking about that and like thinking about others around the world, and I was thinking about rural kids as well as inner
Mm,
city children. I teach
mm,
martial arts to kids after school. So like just
nice.
incorporating any type of music like suede into like after school programs versus
Yep.
kids just I heard Clutch talking about handball, versus
Yeah.
kids just, running around hitting each other and so on and so
Yeah.
forth. It would be so cool if something like this was implemented for like a few hours for children or
Yeah.
30 minutes. Even 30 minutes would be
Yep.
so powerful for children after school,
Yep.
initiating programs like that. How do you feel about that?
That's a huge, so that's been like a really big focus of mine, and that's why kind of we built out the model with minimal. So like I was going to put a compressor and a multi-band parametric EQ, and because I'm a musician, so I love that stuff. But I realized that it's got to be like a smooth transition. So we focused on the model first, so it's real simple. People can just go in, type something, and people will like it because like even younger kids, they'll write a song for their friend or maybe talk shit on Fortnite, and they'll have like their own thing, their own theme song even often. And so I think that is like a natural progression, and I think it's something really important to me because my daughter's 4, and we've had to work very hard to make sure that she hasn't used an iPad or an iPhone or, you know, uh, watched TV. And it's been like very difficult to do that because, I don't want, because I know how I am. Shit, like I was on Mad Hatter Space and he's like talking about how he's got an indent on his pinky from, holding his phone so often. And I'm like, I have that same thing. Um, and like so, the dopamine and stuff that comes from these machines and stuff, we need to like we need to be realistic and not just say, okay, we're gonna go give them an abacus and call it a day. And we're giving them a way to actually like jump on, do something real simple, and have a ton of fun and be unique, have their own voice, and then kind of like almost Trojan horse them into like some deeper music stuff. And so I think schools is like more important than anything to me for this because music theory, I'm self-taught, and it's something I learned when I was way older off of YouTube and stuff. And it's so fascinating, and it really can do a lot for actually getting out of that sort of endless scroll is that we all do. But sometimes I know if I fall into it for too long, I can come out of it feeling really unaccomplished. And so if we can have people engage their minds and still have the ability to do that, I think it's really cool. But schools are definitely a focus of ours, big time.
Wow, that is amazing. I'm happy to hear that. I'm happy to hear that because sometimes we just speak about things for the adults. But I remember
Mm,
many AI, like we can make your song through AI a few years ago. And I was definitely here for the NFT movement. And
yep,
and the shills and the
yep,
Scurpy spaces. And
yep, yep.
yeah. And I
Me
remember
too.
hearing all of this, but this is sounding like 2025. This is sounding very unique.
Yes.
It's sounding like you guys are really putting a lot of thought into, where you
Mm,
guys want to go, where you're headed. And I think that's a really good idea because you're talking about distribution, which a lot
mm.
of music artists gets yanked from them, no matter how talented you are. How I
Spot
mean,
on.
whether it's country music, whatever it is, how talented you are, if you don't have like connections, you're out of the
Yep.
game. And so like
100%.
that distribution is huge. And then you're talking about taking that distribution to ownership. That's big.
Hmm.
And then you went from there to tokenized. So I think
Yes.
this is like a big circle. It goes back.
Yeah. No, I really appreciate that. I'm glad, and that's really the feedback we're getting, especially from people that are trying it. Is they're they're very, very impressed at kind of the thoughtfulness. But I think we're building on the shoulders of giants, and a lot of the guys that were trying to do it in NFTs, the technology wasn't there. And with Solana in CNFTs, which ultimately was why we went with Solana, you can not only make it fractions of a penny to mint, you also can make it so it's dynamic. So you can open an NFT back up if you want to collaborate with someone, and they can say someone who's like really specialized in percussion, they can go back into it if you sign off on it with your private public key pair, and you can let them get into it and add them as an authorized user. They can collaborate, close it back down, and you can constantly be evolving the NFT, which is awesome.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's really good. My first NFT I created, I think it was like 4 years ago, and it sold for like $800. You're so right. I created
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
on Photoshop, and that was it. This was before all
Yeah.
of the, and it was so analog versus digital. It was not
Yeah.
HD.
Yep.
It
Yep.
was like, really? But yeah, I really do appreciate you saying that and just bringing our minds up to like 2025. What's up, Koi Bud?
Hey, what's up,
Yeah.
everybody? Sorry, I kind of rugged out there for about the last 15 minutes space, but had a
So
couple, lots of talking points to unpack there. I think you were kind of just touching on some of that stuff there I wanted to mention before, but earlier on, Suede, you were talking about work made for hire and just all this stuff about negotiating. How do you actually
mm,
control your work and the ownership of it and the licensing of it? And I think that's a lot of what we're talking about here is this blockchain technology and some of these AI agents
yeah.
and different things are going to allow people to have a conveyance system where they're going to be able to transact their work and not just do it like you said, just that example, like, oh, I sold my NFT a few years ago for $800. Like, well, rather than selling your work as a work made for hire to a client,
Mm,
if you can actually retain that ownership and license it with a smart contract so that the
yeah.
licensing and everything is paid out in a way that is equitable for everybody. And we all know that traditionally the music industry is
Mm,
very cutthroat, and there's a lot of big business and contracts and stuff that goes on behind the scenes, and that's where most people get washed away in the mix as individual representation. So I just wanted to just point out the fact that I think that's one of the most powerful use cases of this technology, like Sway is bringing to the table here. So I think it's just really great. We've talked a little bit in the DMs and stuff
yeah.
about it, a little bit more than that to unpack it, but I just wanted to drop that
No,
there and
I
just chime in. And
no, I appreciate it. I've followed you for a long time. Always respected everything that you've done, and yeah, some of the feedback you've had in the chat has been extremely helpful, and I think like people were visionaries in 2017, and the tech just wasn't there. So it's not that we're like we're total geniuses. I think we're just fortunate enough that it's come to a point where we can actually do these things and make it happen. And yeah, it is important, the ownership. And when I was a kid, if you wanted to prove you had written a song, you had to mail it to yourself in the mail, a cassette tape. And the first person to get the cassette tape was that's how you proved you owned it. Whereas this, automatically, you have a hash. It shows when it was created, by whom, and if you can sign with that pair, then you can prove that you've got ownership. And then, yeah, the distribution, if you can make the greatest music in the world, if there's no distribution, then it's not going to get heard anywhere. And that's a big reason why studios are just going straight to AI. And so what's nice about this is now the studios can go to an artist like Kanye, who's already said he loves AI. It's another tool. And they can have his actual model, and they can have his direction. And Kanye can do what he does best, because the way you program it is just by jamming with it back and forth, and through these iterative feedback loops and dynamic context. Every time you play with it, it gets a little bit clearer on what you want. And so you've got this super refined model that's so granular to what you want as an artist, and the studio no longer has to, be a complete, dirtball about it. They can actually use AI, get all the prolific outputs very specific they want, but actually still pay a bit of royalties to the artist who made it, and know that they're getting, an actual representation of what the artist would want, and not just the dilution of, a bunch of people who think they know what the artist wants.
Very nice. What's up, Block? What do you have to say about what you've heard? I mean, wow, I'm really, really impressed. And that's saying a lot.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, Block, we can't hear you, bud. I think he's sign languaging us, which is all good.
Yeah.
He's cussing right now. We can hear you like cussing, but we
Yeah, I
can't
heard
actually
that.
hear
I
you.
did hear that.
I know, right? Yeah, I was just before Block can get his sound fixed. I was looking at a video that was on Fiddy's timeline. It was Donald Trump and it was Putin, and they were in pink
Yeah.
tuxedos.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you
Yeah.
now.
Jesus Christ, bro. Why? I don't understand why it's like this, dude. I don't understand it. It's fine. We need AI. Dude, can you fix Twitter
Yes.
Spaces, Suede? Can you do that?
Bro, well, like I said, yeah, because the music thing is crazy, and I always hear people fumbling over trying to, like, get their speaker. That's just so, like, antiquated. So having an AI agent that can come in and you just say, "Hey, Johnny Suede, play R&B," and he does it, and then so it'll be like advertising for, you want to talk about the tokenomics and stuff all day. People in 100 spaces all at the same time will be yelling, Suede AI, Suede AI. And then we'll also make a way for people, if they hold a certain amount of the token, to have their own keyword, which could be their project, but only in their own space. But yeah, so that's one improvement. I think it's not going to help with
It's like the
always.
built-in lobby music integration on Spaces. Imagine if that was like the little Giphy
Yes.
button when you're making a post. Like we've already got Grok AI integration where you can
Oh,
add
yeah.
Grok AI to a post. Imagine there's a button where you can have the Suede agent AI integrated in and add it just to the lobby music, custom on the fly, or add a song to your post just in the moment, just to
Base.
come up with something inspirational. Like it's be revolutionary.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, anything is better than that.
plan.
Yeah, go for. Oh yeah, please. I'm glad it's the plan, because anything is better than that beep boop beep beep beep.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I thought it was a joke for a while, but he hasn't changed it.
Yeah.
Uh,
No.
That
And what
that
we're gonna
song, I'm
do,
sure, has haunted
yeah.
many hosts that
Oh
have
my
sat
God.
there in a lobby of an empty space that's rugged out while you're waiting for people to join, and you're just listening to that over and over.
Yeah, that is pretty. That's like, throwing dirt on someone who's down. But yeah, we're gonna start. So we have our own social. It's Suede Social that we're building out, which will be cool. So everyone can do all the music creation and share with friends and collaborate in the app. But we're also going to vertically integrate with social media platforms, and our first is probably going to be the arena, as kind of proof of concept. And they have spaces and everything, and they're a great community. I've been an OG in that community since literally day one. We got rugged 3 times, and then if anyone knows the arena story, but so yeah, that is ultimately going to be where we want to be. Elon, we'll see, how his feelings are on it, but for in the meantime, we'll have the agent that does join, and that is doable with the current tech stack being as it is.
Sounds dope, man. Sounds dope. Sounds like you guys have like all your shit together. For one, your number go up. Two,
Yep.
and you actually know how to speak on Spaces. Three, you guys got the total package. I'm happy to have you guys on the space anytime you guys want to come up. We'll just kind of hang out, shoot the shit a little bit. We can have some more AI spaces soon. So yeah, dude. But until you know what? I was gonna call on someone. I was gonna. Oh, fuck. Let me actually hold on, Suede. Answer your phone. Answer. Well, I'm about to call you real quick, Suede. Hold on. Answer your phone.
Okay.
Suede, pick up. I'm calling you on here.
How do I do that?
Just pick up. Just say hello.
Hello.
Oh, okay.
Hello.
Hey, it's block, dude.
Hey,
It's block.
hey, block. What's up, man?
Yo, I'm on a space right now, and
Yeah.
I was gonna like call on somebody so I could like rug them, but I don't know. Like I was gonna be like, yo, hey, like, what do you guys think of the space? Like, do you guys? I'm gonna just like, build them up. I want to build them up and be like, yo, you got, like, you are probably the best listener of the whole entire space. I want you to like tell us about your space. Then after that, tell us about your life. Like, tell us everything that you've got going on. I want to know everything. I want to know. And then I was just gonna cut the space off as soon as they start talking. What do you think? You think that's a good idea?
I mean, I don't see how you could see that as a bad idea.
Actually, let's have you do it. I want you to do it.
So you want me to pick on someone?
Yeah.
And then, okay, so just unmute someone and then get deep in with them. Hermit appears to be putting his hand up quite a bit.
No, he wants it too bad. He's too thirsty for it. It has to be someone who doesn't know it's coming. Has to be someone who doesn't know it's coming. Hermit's been to these spaces too many times.
What about Warrior Marcus?
Where is he at? I don't see him. He's not in space.
He was.
Here,
I'll let you pick because you got that curator's eye.
Okay, I see someone in the listener in the requests. I'm gonna bring him up. Okay. He has no idea what's coming. He has no idea what's coming. All right, I'm hanging up. All right. Thank you guys for holding. I don't know, probably Beethoven, Bach. I don't know what you guys were listening to. Elevator music of some sort. But we have we got Big Daddy Euro / Denzel Millie up here. We got him up here. Big Daddy, I want to tell you one thing. I'm going to tell you this right now. I appreciate a long name. If there's anything on Spaces that I need more of, it's names. It's long, just the longest name I could ever. And then, not only do I have to click on your PFP to be able to say the name, then I have to spend 15 seconds getting through the whole thing. So appreciate that first and foremost. Second of all, dude, I saw you come into the space. Yep, clap it up. I saw you come into the space, and you immediately wanted to come to the speaker panel. So I appreciate you for that as well. You are probably my favorite listener turned speaker. Just that promotion. You just got a promotion. So I appreciate. Big Daddy Euro / Denzel Millie. What's going on today? What are your thoughts on the space? And then after you tell me a little bit about your thoughts on the space, tell me a little about your life. I want to know from when you were a child all the way up to now.
God damn, Block, that's one hell of an introduction, bro. Shit.
Yeah, dude. I try to do my best for people. What's going on?
Nothing. Another day, another dollar. I can't complain. I'm just jumping into space.
That's all that's ever gonna be going on in spaces like this. Another day, another motherfucking dollar, motherfuckers. Let's get this money up. Let's fucking go. God damn it. I swear to God. By your fucking side! Big Daddy Euro / fucking Denzel Millie! I'll fly with you! bad. Big Daddy Euro / Denzel Millie. Yo, that's my bad. That's all my bad. Look, we're gonna take it back to you, bro. We're gonna
Hey,
take it
bro,
back to
don't.
you. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead. Go ahead, bro. Wait, is he rug? Did you rug?
Nah,
Denzel Millie.
play
Okay, there
that
you go.
music. Yeah, play that music, Brody. That was a good vibe. I'm turned
That's
up.
what the fuck I was about to.
Play that fucking music, Block. Do your thing, DJ. Let's feast.
Let's fucking go. We're making bags over here. I promise you, 13 million to 18 million. Drop a little bit, rise a little bit, drop a, yo, sell tops. All I'm saying is all you gotta do is sell some fucking tops. Time that shit. Sell tops, buy bottoms, and let's fucking ride. Let's fucking ride. Alright? We got Warrior Marcus with his hand up. I want to throw it to Warrior Marcus. What's going on, brother?
Oh, GM Block. It's been long. We've met on this space. GM Swede. Actually, the privilege to be on this space tonight with you guys.